Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Kai here checking out with another video. Today, we got the untold story of Autumn. Just gonna get into it.
From being fired from a grocery store for stealing chicken wings to 1 million monthly listeners, sold out shows, and pioneering a subgenre, Autumn has risen to the top of the underground in the past few years. But it wasn't always like this. In fact, he almost quit. So how did he get here? Why do fans love his music? And who is he? I'm Rashad Bashir, and this is the untold story of Autumn.
I just learned about Autumn through y'all. Shout out to the people, the commenters, because I know y'all want to subscribe at the time. My subscribers going up like crazy. Make sure y'all subscribe. But he's dope. That whole little subgenre, what they call it, plug and B, bro. That whole little subgenre of like whatever they do, them artists, like the ones that's like leading the charge out of that. Oh, I couldn't say it's leading the charge because it's like all of them might be on the same boat. Who would y'all say is the best artist out of all of them? Like not all of them. Like if y'all had like a five, my five would probably be like Summers, Autumn. That's all I can think of. Only people that Summers, Autumn. I don't listen to Kent Ken, but I know Kent Ken is super popular. Jace, I know Jace is super popular. He got some songs I fuck with. And one more. You know who I really like? I don't know if he's in there. I like Spaz, like Glock 40 Spaz.
Benjamin Clarence Phillips Jr., known professionally as Autumn, was born in Louisiana. His childhood wasn't the worst, but it wasn't easy. He described the part of Louisiana he was from as poor and filled with hate. His family had no money and everyone was struggling. Until he was 5, he was living with his grandma, great-grandpa, siblings, and cousins all under the same roof, crammed in a house. After that, when he moved out with his mom, they had a small house and she'd work at a Pizza Hut. She'd worked so much she had to call his grandma to pick him up from school, and their family couldn't afford a car. As a kid, he played basketball and draw. But when he began 5th grade, he'd participate in band class and started playing the trumpet. That's when he started to fall in love with music, and remembers thinking,
the coolest thing ever, learning how to play stuff on my own, like piano, drums, guitar, violin, like, this is better. This is way better than what I did before. Like,
his mom was actually in a band herself. When he was 11, he'd start producing because of his older brother. His older brother had to move back in because he was messing up in school.
Like, he ain't never really f with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never knew why.
And thought he's into music.
I was like, maybe if I start making music, I'll be cool with him. You know what I'm saying? He'll want to f with me.
So he downloaded a program called Mixcraft and learned how to make beats.
And
ooh, Mixcraft. Ooh. Okay.
Right, like, he was when it like we had got cool.
And Autumn would even help his brother write raps. Although his brother did eventually move out, Autumn continued to make beats. At that age, Autumn didn't have much confidence and he was an anxious kid. When he was 13, he used to get bullied for playing video games. So he stopped playing and even got bullied for...
Bro, you got at 13? That's what you're supposed to do at 13. How you get bullied for playing video games? That's crazy. Niggas realize this be too tough. I can't stand niggas that just be so super tough. Like that's real weird energy. Like, bro, niggas realize be super like hurt on the inside. Like you will say something that if you really know them, you'll say something to hurt their pride or some. Bro, you just super tough for no reason, bro. Like, calm it down, bro.
For being skinny.
you know, back then, I used to be really soft, bro. Like, I used to let people, like, do what they want. They used to walk all over me.
Later on, he saw one of the guys that used to bully him with a messed up car and eating Burger King. So he walked up to him and told him,
God is real, because you used to make me feel like now your car is your job is and there's not in your wallet.
In high school, Autumn would continue to pursue music as a passion. During orientation, there was only one kid who would speak to him. His name was Donovan, and he used to sing. At the time, Autumn was ready to quit music, but Donovan pushed him to keep going. During high school, Autumn also took music theory as a class and taught himself how to play piano. At the time, Drake was Autumn's favorite rapper, and due to that influence, he'd later be influenced to sing and mix it in with rap. Aside from that, he was different from the average kids in his school, and so were his interests. Outside of school, he would read Shakespeare and was really into poetry, specifically romantic poetry, and would even write some himself. Remember when Autumn roasted his childhood bully for eating Burger King? Well, he also worked there, and Autumn had a lot of jobs as a teenager. In 2015, Autumn graduated high school and he decided to take a break instead of going to college. So he decided to work and make money as well as do music. Since he knew school was going to cut into his time, he worked at a grocery store and got fired because he saw
4 wings, bro. They have 4 wings in the freezer. I found them. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm finna eat. I cooked them. Put the sauce on them and everything, bro. Soon as I lifted that hoe up to my mouth, no homo, my manager walked in and seeing me about to take a bite was like, yo, what are you doing? I was like, I'm getting fired. That's what I'm doing. And then I went home.
he was fired for premeditated stealing. So he decided he'd walk down the street and get a job at a Subway, but that didn't last either. He worked at a gas station, Aeropostale, American Eagle, and his final job was at Walmart. The reason he had so many jobs was due to how he'd be treated. Whenever he was disrespected, he'd just leave rather than take it, or steal.
Hey, no cap. No cap. I'm out of here. Nah, doing situations like that, if you feel like you're getting treated unfair, I'm talking about with any job. You can't keep running from jobs. Hey, just say I'm taking it to corporate. Anytime you feel like you're getting treated unjustly, okay, you know what? I'm calling corporate. Or don't worry. I'm taking mental notes or I'm taking physical evidence. I'm taking this to corporate. You want to play? You want to play, right? And I'm talking about that's for anything. Anything. You go in the store, you feel like you've been discriminated. Police, whatever, man, okay, you know what, cool. You want to play? All right, we going to play. You feel me? But nah, don't ever feel like you're going to get walked over or feel like you're going to get treated unfair. Nah, we ain't playing that.
Their chicken wings. During this time, he'd eventually go to college and was majoring in the music business, but took a break and was actually set on going back.
If music don't work out, I swear to God, I'm gonna be a pediatrician. I'm gonna be a pediatrician.
At this time, Autumn was just a producer. In fact, he wasn't even named Autumn. He'd go by the name Trap God Benji. His journey as a producer had started when he was making beats at 11, to posting beats on SoundCloud in 2013 at 15 years old, and then when he finally took it seriously in 2015 when he was 17 years old. At the time, he was making Lex Luger type beats and whatever was trending. In 2017, he was posting his beats to YouTube, and a rapper named Louis VD would find those beats and hit him up. Louis VD would later become Summers, and back then, Autumn was actually...
Huh? That's crazy. See, I ain't know this because, like I told you, this whole subgenre, bro, y'all put me on. But that's crazy.
D would find those beats and hit him up. Louis VD would later become Summers, and back then, Autumn was actually bigger than Summers. After taking over the internet, finding out they lived close to each other in Louisiana, and bonding over the lack of creativity in the music scene in Louisiana, Autumn decided to work with Summers for free, and they became close collaborators. Pretty soon, he started to see Summers pass him in followers and popularity, and after being encouraged to by Summers and another old collaborator of his, Texaco, to start rapping, he decided...
I just found out about Texaco. Bruh.
Decided to try his hand at it.
I only really started rapping because I wanted to see how I sounded on my beats. That's really it.
And that's when he started doing vocals, in May of 2017. He chose the name Autumn because
Autumn come after Summers. I started rapping after you, so I'm gonna just be Autumn.
That's crazy, bro. Yo, that's crazy. I didn't know. I never thought that, bro. Like on God, I never thought that. Summers. I never even thought of that, bro. summers, autumn, fall, autumn. I did, bro. That's so. This nigga is this nigga's a genius, bro. Both of the niggas, bro. Cause I was like, that's the only two people that I like. That's crazy. Yo, I really didn't know that. I really didn't know that, bro. I really didn't know that. That's how you know you really fuck with a nigga, bro. You Summers, he was, we say Lucky Boy D or whatever his name was. Then he go to Summers. Then he say, I start rapping after you, so I'm just gonna be Autumn. Autumn come after summer. Like, bro, that's crazy.
He chose the name Autumn because
Say autumn come after summers. I started rapping after you, so I'm gonna just be autumn.
That
And it
actually
just,
is pretty
it
deep,
just
though.
it just stuck. I was joking, but it just stuck. So I was like,
his other name, Twin Uzis, was inspired by Slime Cedo.
I was looking at this picture of Slime Sita.
That's another person that I found out about through what's bruh name? Clout. What's bruh name? Clout something. Storm Cloud or something like that. What's bruh name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. But Shawty make good music too though. He the one with the big ass snake in his face.
And he had this fire designer coat on, and he had like 2 Uzis in his hand. And that's when I first started rapping, so I was like, Twin Uzis like Sita. And then Twin Uzi just kind of stuck with me.
On January 4th, 2018, Autumn got a job at Walmart and it sucked, but it was all he could get. When he got that job, he had 3,000 followers on SoundCloud, and on October of that year, he decided to quit his job at Walmart. He had 5,000 followers and was the happiest he had ever been. He didn't even tell his mom. She found out through the mail. He told her to give him 3 months, and if he couldn't make it work, he would do anything she asked of him. Go back to school, or even get a job again. He didn't want to do that, so he worked hard and dropped 6 tapes that year, like Bugger World.
Bruh, that's all that shit take, bruh. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm really trying to tell y'all, bro. You have to just be dedicated. You gotta be determined, bro. You gotta just lock in. Like, your mental gotta go to a whole different wave. Like, when you want something bad, like, I'm talking about extremely bad, like, you want it more than, like, I be seeing little videos, like, but I've been had this mentality, like, you gotta want shit more than you want to breathe. Like, the things that you want, you gotta want it more than you want to breathe. So it's like, hey, I want to rap. And if you, I'm not talking about just niggas that's, just BS rappers. I'm talking about niggas that really want to rap, that's like doing everything in their power. Like, all right, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? If you want this, you can have it. What you gonna do for it? Like, how serious you taking this? All right, you know what? I'm gonna do everything in my power to do it, to get to this next level. All right, yeah, come on, let's go there. Man, for real.
Hashtag Don't Forget Me, LSD, Retribution, Before Retribution 3, and Opiates. Bugger World was in support of his uncle, who's currently in jail. Overall, these tapes were very similar to what Summers was making at the time, and Autumn has even admitted to copying Summers in the beginning. His first songs to get big, Bye 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 and Oh Well So What, were actually both even featuring Summers. They didn't know it at the time, but they were pioneering a genre they would call plug and B, together.
That's job put me on to. Plug and B.
Together, they pioneered the genre, making what he described a mix of R&B with trap drums, along with specific flows. That year, he did an interview, stating he wanted to work with
I want to do some stuff with Wyler, Ron So Cold, Doo-Wop.
and that he also almost signed a horrible deal with Epic Records in 2018. He DM'd them and someone from the label responded. At the time, he was ready to sign for a measly $40,000, just enough to cover his living costs for a year, but he decided against it. This time period around late 2018 to 2019 was when Autumn said he was the happiest. He described it by saying,
like when I had 5,000 followers, it was 5,000 people who was new to me,
Yeah.
and they was like, yo, you gonna blow up. Like,
he had nothing else to do. He would just record all day and drop 4 tapes in 2 months, dropping music every other week. He slowly started to gain more traction, but it came with consequences.
when I hit like 40 and I had got verified,
Mm-hmm.
after that time, that's when Nina went viral.
Yeah.
And then it just started to get weird, bro. It just got weird. Like, I don't understand all the troll and stuff. And then, like, weird accusations.
This was when he dropped his album Retribution 3, which gave him a lot more traction. Before he dropped Retribution 3, he had never had a song go viral before, just to get decently big on SoundCloud. The tape featured a song called Nina, which was made in 15 minutes. The song's only purpose was to make sure the project had 5 songs on the tape. By accident, it became his first big song, and biggest song at the time, later blowing up to TikTok. He'd go on to get his first Lexus, apartment, and eventually a Benz, all off of music. However, this year wasn't totally smooth. In the middle of the year, he had a short beef with Comethazine, who claimed Autumn was stealing swag, which, if you listen to their music, sounds completely different, so it was likely due to Autumn dyeing his hair and being the same skin color as Comethazine, and slightly looking alike. But whatever the reason, Comethazine told Autumn, "Watch what happens to you when we catch up to you."
Google Pixel represents. The Pixel, they really just transfer how good I felt and how good I looked, you know, in the mirror to the phone. That's what the Pixel is for. I see myself on the camera, I said, I am the female goat.
Hello, it's Lakia for the features, know my fear.
Introducing custom t-shirts. Sticker Mill makes it easy to turn any design into a custom.
And Autumn dropped a diss track in response called Catch Up to You. Really good song. The following year, 2019, was both a successful and eventful year for Autumn. Other than Nina becoming his largest song, he dropped 8 tapes, some of the more popular ones being Modern Day Michelangelo.
Nigga said he dropped 8. That's why, bruh. You ain't just hear what Shawty just said? He said in 2 months he dropped 6 tapes. And then he off them 6 tapes, he ended up buying an apartment and 2 cars. Then the next year after that, he ended up dropping 8. You gotta want this, bro. You have to want it. You have to want it.
Retribution 3 and 4. During this time period, he was also a part of and affiliated with multiple collectives. He was a part of Hell World along with Summers, Can, and Texaco, and was a part of D1 with Summers, Goonie, Can, Ron So Cold, and the father of Plug and B / 90s legend Lil Shine. There were more members.
Who is that? See, I gotta check out all these artists because I don't know. The only people that I know is...
During this time period, he was also a part of and affiliated with multiple collectives. He was a part of Hell World along with Summers.
I know Summers.
Can.
I know Can.
And Texaco.
I know Texaco now. I learned Texaco.
And was a part of D1 with Summers.
I know Summers.
Goonie.
Don't know who Goonie is. Or Junie. I don't know who this is.
Can.
I know who Can is.
And Ron So Cold.
Ron So Cool.
Can and Texaco. And was a part of D1 with Summers, Goonie, Can, Ron So Cold, and the father of Plug and B / 90s legend Lil Shine.
Lil Shy? I don't even know who that is.
There were more members in this group as well.
And he said he the father? I thought Summers and Autumn was the fathers. Summers, Autumn, like Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, you know, people like that. Like, I ain't know,
and the father of Plug and B / 90s legend Lil Shine. There were more members in this group as well. He was also affiliated with Slay World. Although never officially in the group, he was very close with and collaborated with many, even being considered a part of the group by most fans, and looks back fondly on Can stealing his beats, even saying,
"I want to make a song with him again, bro."
He'd also collaborated with other rising underground artists like SSG Kobe, who's from the same city as him.
Okay, I know who SSG Kobe is. I haven't heard that many songs from him, but I know who that is.
Towards the end of the year, Autumn posted a mugshot of himself, insinuating he was arrested, and fans were saying Free Wick, his nickname, and some of his friends like Can even made songs in his support. However, years later, it was leaked that Autumn had fabricated the pictures. The year also included tragic news for Autumn. In the middle of the year, his dog Bana passed away. In 2020, Autumn reached new heights, even surpassing Summers for a short period of time on socials and streaming, and will drop a more mainstream project, Ills Vermont, as well as Solitary, which even had a single with Yeet. That year, he dropped a single, still
I know who Yeet is too.
The same, that went on to become one of his biggest songs, and Lil Tecca would even hop on the remix. Tecca and Autumn were friends and knew each other before Tecca was famous, from an Instagram group chat. That year, he was also in a relationship with BK the Ruler, which became a point of controversy for him later.
He was with BK the Ruler? I don't even know. I mean, I seen who BK the Ruler is. I mean, I don't know who that. I don't know if she a model or rapper or whatever she do, but I know who she is. But just to go back, he said Tecca, but then he said they was in a Instagram group or what did he say? An Instagram group, it just seemed like, bro, everybody, the internet job, like, just opened up a whole little wave of, like, whatever, like, bruh. Instagram groups?
That year, he was also in a relationship with BK the Ruler, which became a point of controversy for him later on in his career, due to the age gap present in the relationship. BK was 17 and Autumn was 22, which made some fans raise their eyebrows, but I'll leave the moral judgment up to you. By that time, music had really started to change his life. In an Instagram live, he explained his goal used to be to save $1,000 a year.
For money saving, used to be like $1,000 a year, bro.
This year, it was $20,000.
My goal this year was to save $20,000. Okay?
Then he pulled out 10K and said it was nothing, hinting that he had saved much more.
This right here, this is 10 bands, cash.
Thanking his fans. 2020 was a quiet year for Autumn, in terms of how much he released music. But in 2021, the consistency returned. He dropped 5 projects: Simp Music, Exactly, Golden Child Chapter 1, Not Much Longer, and Not Much Left. The projects were pretty good, especially Simp Music and Golden Child, but Autumn also dropped some singles that were even bigger. In January, he was featured on a remix of Playboi Carti's Meh by Yeet. The song became pretty big on TikTok with a specific dance, the bag dance, started by Wyland, and fans would start calling the trend the Autumn Punch. Before getting deleted, the song racked up millions of plays on SoundCloud multiple times. However, the two would fall.
So wait. Well, that is back in the day. Cause I'm like, niggas want to still use the SoundCloud. Like, niggas want to use the SoundCloud where I'm from. Niggas stopped using SoundCloud. But it seemed like them niggas were still using that shit.
Out later that year. The tension would arise when Kankan was arrested and felt like Autumn didn't give him enough support as a friend. When the accusation turned out to be false, Autumn looked dumb in the situation. Later that year, a fan would ask Kankan to make more music with Autumn, and he responded with, "F that boy." Another fan of Kan said, "You way better than Autumn, he fell off." To which he responded, "I know." Kankan would even tell him to, and I quote, "stop playing with him unless he wanted it to be his last week as a rapper." Yeet jumped into the beef, saying LMFAO, how MF's fake went to jail. This was surprising because just a month ago, Autumn dropped a song called Wants, shouting out Yeet and commending him for his recent success, and they'd worked on countless songs together previously. Autumn then previewed a diss on Kankan and Yeet, saying, "Who told you I fell off?" responding to them on a Yeet type beat. Since it was a 2v1, it was Yeet's turn to respond, and he said, "He really trying to sound like me. Bro, go do something else. That stuff sucked." Autumn responded by saying he gave Yeet his voice, and to remember how grateful Yeet was in the beginning that Autumn ever included him in his circle. Yeet then told Autumn to pull up on him in real life, and said, "I think somebody's mad I passed them." Cat surprised emoji, laughing emoji. Autumn responded with an old message of Yeet telling Autumn he loved him. In October, Autumn dropped a snippet of the diss track he posted, a song called Portrayal, produced by the same producer who produced Yeet's viral song Get Busy, Flauns, and calls Yeet and Kan envious of him. Years later, Autumn said he was mad he fed into it. In reality, the beef only lasted for a day and they patched things up behind the scenes. Autumn even had beef with Doo-Wop Kane in the beginning of the year, after he called Doo-Wop's music Satan music and escalated the beef, saying he doesn't mess with Doo-Wop while Doo-Wop's music was playing, someone who he had expressed he wanted to collab with 3 years earlier. At the end of the year, Autumn met with Steven Victor and was going to sign a major deal, but decided to sign a distribution deal, which he even alluded to during his beef with Yeet. Steven Victor was even in the cover art for Autumn's project Not Much Left, which ironically featured Summers on 2 songs, his close friend who had fallen out with Steven Victor, after he allegedly was not allowed to drop music. Their partnership started out successful, with Autumn dropping one of his most anticipated songs of his career, One Way, going on to become one of his largest songs ever. However, things didn't end any differently with Autumn than they did with Summers. The next year, he released Antagonist, which received mixed reviews from regular fans and unpleasant reviews from his bigger fans. The project didn't have any songs blow up, the deal expired, and Autumn was independent again. Since then, Autumn has stayed out of drama and dropped multiple projects, the 2 prominent ones being the sequel to his album Golden Child 2 in 2022, and making it a trilogy in 2023 with the Golden Child.
This is what I've been bumping. I've been bumping that Golden Child 3. I'm talking about the whole, well, I'm not gonna say the whole joke. I like from 1 to like 12. I like 1 to 12. 1 to, I'm gonna show y'all, 1 to 12. I like 1 to, no, not 1 to 12, my bad. I like 1 to 13. 1 to 13, and then it's a couple more that I can like, that I fuck with. Like I fuck with Can't Rent Anymore. It's a couple jokes I fuck with. But 1 to 13 though, I ain't skipping 1 to 13. Well, I might be skipping one. I'm skipping I think I might be skipping No Good. Yeah, I think I might be skipping No Good, but everything else I can play straight through.
Top 3. A great album, very well received by his fans. In 2022, he even sold out a tour. However, he couldn't completely stay out of trouble. In January of 2023, he crashed a car he rented and decided to not pay the rental company in damages. They made a post about the situation, and Autumn decided to beef with them, dropping a diss track on the rental car company called Can't Rent Anymore. And Autumn actually has a history of crashing cars and his horrible driving skills. On a more serious note, unfortunately in April of 2023, Autumn's close friend Dezzy passed away. Autumn's story is one of hard work, perseverance, and truly pursuing your passion. He was never in the spotlight or the biggest in the scene, but his consistent efforts resulted in his success. On top of that,
and that's all it is, bro. That's really all it is, bro. Like, no cap. That's all it is, bro. Work hard, bro. Put your head down. Even when you feel like nobody looking, bro. Put your head down. That's all you doing is put your head down, bro. When you see everybody around you getting all the appraisal, everybody around you going up, everybody around you, it seems like it's working for them. Your shit seems like it might be a little bit slower. Cool. But put your head down and produce, but like just keep going. Cause you never know what's gonna happen. You never know.
Autumn's not afraid to crack jokes and interact with his fan base, a rare trait for rappers, especially in this scene.
What you doing if we run up on you? Pew! What you gonna do if we run up on you?
So overall, he's a pretty cool guy with cool music who absolutely never ever gets into beef. If you'd like to hear more of my personal thoughts, watch part 2, The Influence of Autumn, where I share more details about a story that didn't make it in this video and give more insight of his career from a fan's perspective. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.
Y'all wanna do that? Y'all wanna do part 2?
Cool paint.
Let's do part 2. It's right here.
So we went to this place called Bucks County for vacation. There was so much to do.
Autumn, Twin Uzis, Autumn Marwick, whatever you want to call him, is one of the best plug-and B artists, and recently he's been putting out some great music as well. His fan base isn't as big as Summers, but despite that fact, he has more followers than Summers on Instagram, as well as more monthly listeners on Spotify, but just by a little bit. Anyways, for many years, Autumn has put out some great music, and consistently, not a lot of artists can say that. He doesn't really take breaks, and went from being a skinny kid working at Walmart to getting rich off music. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I got into his music, his evolution, his journey, influence, and of course, my personal thoughts on all these topics. I first discovered Autumn a little after I found Summers, listening to a song or two. It took me a while to get used to his voice, and I don't remember what I was listening to. I just remember thinking he was alright, and I didn't even know he made plug and B like that. Then he dropped his project Ills Verant, which was an amazing album. Songs like Girls from the Club and Big Stepper are amazing. And around that time, I thought he could have really blown up with that mainstream sound. Obviously that didn't happen, even though he continues to make more mainstream music alongside his plug and B stuff. But as I became a bigger fan of his, I found out about his older music, which is mostly plug and B. He has tapes and tapes of plug and B, by the way. So a running joke with Autumn fans is how old he is. He's not actually old, just for his scene. He's 25 years old. Summers is 23 if you're wondering, but I guess most rappers, especially rappers making plug and B, like Lil Shine's like 19 or something, or they're really young. Autumn was actually really young when he was making music. He started making beats when he was 11, and he didn't even start rapping until much later when he was 19. So that's 8 years into his music journey, and he taught himself how to play piano, guitar, and other instruments, and was a very musical kid growing up. Even how he got started making beats was very personal. His brother didn't love him or like him at all. So he used to make beats because he knew his brother liked music just so that he could hang out with his brother, which is kind of sad. If you check out his oldest music, which honestly I wouldn't, it's not great unless you're like a fan or something. Most of it isn't mixed well and just isn't good. He said that his first song, where he had vocals, was just to hear what he sounded like. He never wanted to be a rapper at all. He was actually encouraged to start rapping by both Summers and Texaco. Texaco is someone who's been in the scene for years but just never popped off. No big TikTok song, no big feature, and had some allegations that damaged his reputation, if you don't know who that is. But Autumn's early music was filled with Texaco features, and they were close collaborators back then. But Autumn's music did get very good in just a year. In 2018, a lot of his plug and B stuff was amazing. It wasn't super polished either. It had like the specific sound, and that was what made it sound so good in my opinion, or at least what makes it sound so good now. And a lot of newer rappers or plug and B rappers try to recreate that mix and sound. He dropped a collab tape with Summers called LSD. He also dropped one of his biggest songs to this day, Can't Take It, featuring Summers. And a lot of Autumn's music was just copying Summers, which he talks about, and I wouldn't even say it's a bad thing. They were just really good friends in real life, and Autumn was putting out good music. They're also a great duo to this day. Autumn and Summers met through the internet, and at the time Summers was no one really, and Autumn had more followers than him. On top of that, they weren't even Autumn and Summers. It was Louis VD, Summers' old name, and Trap God Benji, Autumn's old name. He got his new name Autumn from the season after Summers because he started rapping after Summers, and the name Twin Uzis came from him looking at a Slime Cedo picture where he was like holding up 2 Uzis or something, and then he said in the song and it just caught on. He also calls himself Wick. That's just like a nickname. What's crazy is that they really created Plug and B, which other than Plug is the only real underground subgenre. There's a trend in the underground where people love to just make up subgenres, and it's really just a slightly different type of music. But Plug and B is really a genre, and there are hundreds of Plug and B artists. I don't even know if there being hundreds of Plug and B artists is like a good thing, but I don't know, I just think it's kind of funny. At the time, it was R&B with trap drums, and there are debates on whether or not Summers and Autumn created Plug and B with Zangang, or if it was people like Corey Lingo and other artists, or even Texaco who helped. In reality, it was all of them. Summers and Autumn just went on to become huge, so they got all the credit, and honestly rightfully, because I guess that's just how it works. Apparently Autumn would be at Summers' crib and he'd watch him record, see him sing in person, go home and copy that. Autumn was actually in college as well, at first for media / the music business, and said if he went back he would become a pediatrician. I'm not making that up, he actually said that. I honestly couldn't imagine him doing that, but it was in 2018, so who knows. In 2018, he was also ready to sign a deal, and it was for a measly 40K, which is crazy to think about. Like, imagine signing or selling your music for 40K. He just wanted enough to cover his living costs for a year because he was working minimum wage at Walmart. Anyways, 2019 was one of the best years to be an Autumn fan. In the end of 2018, Autumn dropped Retribution 3, one of his best projects. He got the cover from an anime, Parasite. Right after he dropped that, he dropped Modern Day Michelangelo, another great tape, a collab tape with Summers, Wick and Clancy, a lot of great music. Even a song called I Think She's the One with Texaco and Summers. Another really good tape he dropped was 4, which is also fire. And he dropped even more music other than that, like more tapes. That year, in 2019, he also posted a mugshot. Later, he was exposed for it being fake. Everyone was like, free Wick. I don't know why he did that because he had nothing to prove. No one thought he was some weak dude or not cool or like not street enough.
I mean, but he did say himself he felt like he was a nerd. So I guess he was just doing something to, you know, mugshot pictures, which I don't understand nothing about. I'm not trying to act like I've been to jail or anything like that. It's not a cool thing, but you know, from somebody that's on the outside in, they always gonna look at like, oh man, I gotta do something to fit in.
Autumn was pretty fire. He has this habit of having guns in his trillers, and he has mad pictures with guns in them as well as cash. Maybe Autumn is the most humble rapper, but Autumn's mugshot is just so random to me. Like, I don't know why he thought he had to do that. It was a pretty lame thing to do, and it's just a stain on his career now. I just realized I forgot to say he faked the mugshot. That's why it was so weird. Just objectively like a lame thing to do, and it's just like a stain on his career now. In his new song, Can't Rent Anymore, he said, still remember when HPD booked me? Bro, remember what? You were never booked. But I mean, I guess the stick is still going, and HPD stands for Houston Police Department, by the way. 2019 was also when he started dating BK the Rula. He was 17 apparently, and he was 22. I don't know if that's weird to you. I think it's legal in his state or something. It's not a wild age gap or anything. They made some music, and Autumn even has a live talking about the topic, except he's not the subject of that. It was about Summers' allegations, and I don't really know what to think about it. It's like a controversial topic for Autumn fans, and it's partly where the whole accusations come from. BK has also gone on to become pretty big. She's dated Doo-Wop as well, by the way. Someone Autumn had beef with later on. 2020 was also a great year for Autumn as well. He dropped Still the Same, cool song, one of his biggest songs at the time. I actually didn't really even like the song that much. It was just alright to me. Lil Tecca hopped on it, and they're actually friends from even way before. And something people might not know is Summers and Lil Tecca had some beef. Summers' song F the Industry is a Lil Tecca diss. He said something about only being friends with Tecca because he was popular and that started it. I forgot the details, which must have been pretty awkward for Autumn. He also dropped Ills Verant and Solitary, and actually worked with Yeet quite a lot before Yeet blew up. Yeet was even featured on Solitary. He actually had more songs with Yeet than Can did, and caught on for Yeet more than Can did at the time, if you think about it. He had 3 songs. He had a song called Breezy 3, Probably, part of Solitary, and Meh, a Playboi Carti remix. So Autumn definitely helped Yeet out quite a bit. You also got to remember that Autumn was much bigger than Yeet at the time, so he was helping him for sure. Ills Veron was also a great project. A lot of the songs could honestly go mainstream. They had that sound, and it wasn't plug and be, it was more polished. In 2021 he dropped a bunch of projects. My favorite was Simp Music. I loved Autumn's old plug and be sound. It was so good. And
hey, that's a good ass song too.
My favorite was Simp Music.
If it means anything. Hold up. Oh, so wait. That's on Golden Chapter. So wait a minute. Did he? Cause it's part 1 and part 2. Did he do that? He's a genius to be. That's crazy.
I loved Autumn's old plug and be sound. It was so good. And normally when rappers bring back their old style, it's not the same. Simp Music was literally exactly the same. Like, he forgot nothing. It was heaven. It was amazing. I really recommend you check out If It Means Anything. That song was really good. However, in 2021, the beefs he got into overshadowed the music he released, and he got into quite a few shenanigans with Can, Yeet, Doo-Wop Kane, and years earlier, even Comethazine. So the Comethazine was years before 2021, and Comethazine even had beef with Summers. Not even beef, really, he just came at Summers. So he definitely knew Autumn was friends with Summers and said he was stealing swag. I'm gonna put up 2 pictures of Autumn and Comethazine. Now, I want you to go listen to their music and tell me it had nothing to do with how Autumn looked like. Like, bro, Comethazine makes aggressive rap music and Autumn makes plug and be. Those are nothing alike. Whatever the opposite of stealing swag is, that's what was going on there. Unless you call dyeing your hair blonde or yellow or whatever color that is stealing swag. His beef with Can was pretty stupid as well. Can got locked up and Autumn wasn't supportive or whatever. Can got mad, said some things, and they've never really been cool since then. I mean, they're friends now, but they were pretty close back in 2019 and were dropping music, which doesn't look like it's gonna come from them anytime soon, even though they've made things good after they've fallen out. What's even worse about this beef is it made Yeet not mess with Autumn either. I don't know why he had to jump into it, but he did. And he called him out for the mugshot. Then Autumn went back and forth with them, telling Yeet to be grateful that he was even in Autumn's circle when Autumn let him in his circle, and that Autumn gave Yeet his voice, which is kind of out of pocket. I don't know. It's up to you. The Yeet thing went even further. Autumn hopped on a Yeet beat, which became Portrayal. And his next album, Antagonist, had a heavy Yeet influence. You can't even lie. The saddest part about Yeet, or the Yeet thing, is that they made really good music together. Matt blew up on TikTok and had like 10 million streams on SoundCloud before it got taken down in months. And even the Violent Bag Dance got popular through that song. But I can't lie, it didn't suit him that much. Songs like Bentley, Bottega, and Portrayal, especially Portrayal, were really good songs though. However, that was probably one of the first times I noticed Autumn getting a lot of hate. Fans kind of bullied him into getting out of that sound, and they didn't really like the project as much as he hyped it up to be, I guess. And the project was underwhelming. Even for me, I didn't really think the album was that great. He even had beef with Doo-Wop, which was his fault, to be honest. Like, I have no idea why he started that. He called Doo-Wop's music the devil music, saying Sane produced the song, no autotune. He then proceeded to give Doo-Wop life advice, which I thought was hilarious. Like, they weren't even friends or anything, telling Doo-Wop to cut off his fake friends or something, because no way his friends let him drop something like that. Doo-Wop's known to be experimental, so I don't even know why Autumn felt the need to do all of that. He even wanted to collab with Doo-Wop back in 2018. That year, he would go on to sign a distribution deal with Victor as well. That didn't go as planned because he originally was going to sign a major deal, but decided to do a test run for a year as a distribution deal, and then he didn't re-sign. So I guess he didn't get what he wanted out of it, likely because Antagonist didn't do as well as it was expected to. He dropped One Way, which is before Antagonist, which is one of his best songs, produced by him as well. It's like a romantic song, I don't know. Recently, he dropped Golden Child 3, and he's dropped other albums, but this one was the...
Hey, that Golden Child 3, I already said it. Man, that Golden Child 3 is goated.
Best one out of all of them. And even crashed a Trackhawk, and then didn't pay for the damages. Yeah, it was a pretty bad crash. And the funniest part about this is Autumn has crashed his car like 4 times before this, and this time he just made a song called Can't Ret Anymore. Like, the whole thing is just really a joke to him. He doesn't care at all. Overall, Autumn is a great artist. I love his old music. Recently, I haven't been as much as a fan. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't even listen to the full album, Golden Child 3 yet. I just listened to some of it, or most of it. I like most of the songs. It's a good album. Autumn's old music just has a certain vibe to it, and some of my favorite. Lastly, rest in peace to his uncle, Drezo, who was really close with him, who unfortunately
helps 3.
I don't know what just happened. So I gotta see y'all in the next video. Peace.